Chapter 512. Sting the White Shadow Dragon. Larcade and Sting battle continues as we know from the spoilers, but this fight has left me rather pissed, I'm not gonna lie. So Larcade is getting pummeled a bit and decides to resort to his RIP move, which we knew from the end of the latest chapter as well as the spoilers. The one interesting part about this fight though was teamwork made by Sting, Rogue and Kagura. Rogue basically tells Sting to enter the shadows, but Sting has no idea how to do that, so Rogue effectively guides him through it by, talking him through it essentially. And Kagura, well, when Sting finds out that he has to use gravity, think about gravity, to blend with the shadow, Kagura helps them out by using her gravity magic effectively, so forcing him into the shadows. And that's when we see the dark panel from the spoiler with Sting in it, and he's baffled how it looks in there. It's like, oh, so this is what it's like basically. I did originally think that the dark panel was actually some effect of the RIP made by Larcade, but turns out it's just Rogue's shadow. So yeah, quite a different outcome, I guess. So once that's done, Sting basically wrecks Larcade, and this is why I'm pissed, because it makes no sense for Sting to win at all, especially since August even said that only Larcade's mother could be the end of him. I mean, you'd think a guy like August would know, but clearly not. After that fight's done, well, Larcade basically lies on the ground crying out to his father Zeref, and that's when we see a tiny panel of Zeref sitting about in the guild hall of Fairy Tail, as he does. But that's all, we don't really see anything more of that. And we then get to Natsu's dream again, where he is guided by Rogue actually, instead of Sting. And Rogue basically explains to him about his scarf, how it was made by e.n.d's scales, and the way that the scales kind of pales into it loses their pigment effectively, and that's why they're white and not red. And yeah, he explains that the scarf was actually made by Anna, not by e.n.d. And I mean, we kind of knew all of this from the spoilers, but so, and not to then get to see Anna, Heartfilia, and his reaction is kind of like what you'd expect. He sees Lucy instead of Anna. I mean, he recognizes Lucy in Anna. And yeah, then that's when we kind of see Zeref, where he briefly starts to talk about how Anna was a very kind person and so on. And after that's done, we get to the Lucy, Happy, Porliuska, Brandish, all those guys. And Porliuska basically tells Lucy that she should try to use her body heat to try and warm Natsu up, and tells him to strip, which is kind of weird, because I don't think you need to strip in order to share your body heat, but who knows, maybe you do, I'm no expert. And then Happy starts to cry and he kind of overspeaks, because he says to himself effectively, or to Natsu who's asleep, that he should stop wanting to kill Seraph, because it's going to kill himself as well. And the others actually hear Happy say this, so they're like, what do you mean that Natsu will die if Zeref is defeated? So that's pretty much where the chapter ends. We don't see Happy explain it to them. So yeah, it kind of left us, I guess you could call it a cliffhanger of sorts. But anyway, that's where the chapter ends, and we find out that the next chapter is titled Flower Circle, not just Flower. I mean, I assume it's correctly translated now, so that's why I'm saying that I assume Flower Circle is more accurate than just Flower. So what do I think about this? Well, obviously I don't like the fight between Larcade and Sting. Well, not the outcome at least. I mean, the fight in itself was pretty cool, but I don't like the result of the fight. Quite interestingly, people were thinking that Larcade was just too hyped up, and obviously it turns out they were correct. I mean, I was hoping that wasn't the case, obviously, because it would not make any sense if he was able to go up against Acnologia, but then it struck me, maybe Larcade just thinks he can go up against Acnologia. Maybe he thinks that Acnologia is simply gonna fall over just because he is overdone by some pleasure or some desire. But when even Sting can go through that, obviously Acnologia will as well, so he would never have stood a chance against Acnologia, let's face it. I mean, come on, it's Sting, what do you expect? So yeah, I think he was just too hyped up, and he was just too self-confident in his own abilities. Natsu would have fucking wiped him out in, literally in one hit, dude. I'm not joking. Okay, So that's all for this video. Let me know what you think about this chapter. Did you like the fight, or did you like the cliffhanger at the end of the chapter? Yeah, please let me know. Anyway, if you did, please like this video and subscribe if you're new. Bye.